Group Supervisor AJ Gundaya from RDU 29, Tondo San Nicolas, and I'll be discussing with you nga po the submission of the financial statements and other attachments to your duly filed annual income tax return. So sino ba ang required na mag-submit ng kanilang duly filed AITR with attachments to the BIR? So taxpayers who electronically filed, so either via EFPS or EBIR forms, without any required attachments, need not submit printed copies of their e-filed tax returns to the LTS or RDO. So kung walang attachment yung inyong income tax return, mag-file kayo electronically, that's it. Once you have received the email confirmation as discussed by Ma'am Amy earlier, tapos na kayo. Conversely, kung kayo ay taxpayer na meron ng mga sumusunod na attachments, kayo ay require na ipasa ang inyong AITR kasama ng yung mga attachments niyo sa AITR. You are required to submit this to the BIR together with the AITR itself at yung proof ng filing ninyo. So print out ng filing reference number, if through EFPS, or the email notification if through EBIR forms, and of course proof ng payment of tax due if any kung meron kayo ng mga sumusunod. So required na mag-submit sa BIR are those with a complete set of financial statements. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng complete set of financial statements? These include the CPA certificate, so yung audit certificate, only if the gross annual sales, earnings, receipts, or output exceed 3 million during the year. If your gross sales, earnings, receipts, or output does not exceed 3 million, hindi required ng BIR na audited yung inyong financial statements. That goes without saying, of course, na for example, kung kayo ay corporation, although ang participants natin now is self-employed and employees, but just the same, kung meron nakikinig dito, kung ang ipafile nyo is para sa corporation, required pa rin kayo ng SEC na audited financial statements, o i-audited financial statements pa rin na ipapasa ninyo kahit less than 3 million na inyong gross sales. But as far as BIR is concerned, we only require the submission of an audit certificate if the gross sales, earnings, receipts, or output exceed 3 million pesos. Of course, kasama din, may audit certificate ka, edi dapat meron ka ring account information form and or the financial statements themselves, including the prescribed schedules for existing issuances, which must form part of the notes to the financial statements. If the financial statements are audited, so kung merong audit certificate, the financial statements must be comparative as required by RR 21-2002. Of course, this goes without saying na kung first year of operation mo pa lang, edi obviously wala kang comparative kasi wala kang ikukumparang previous year. But for those on their second year of operation and so on and so forth, if your financial statements are audited, you must submit them, you must present them in a comparative format if they are audited. Of course, kasama din dyan yung statement of management responsibility for the AITR. So, kung familiar kayo sa mga financial statements, ang daming statement of management responsibility, Statement of management responsibility para sa financial statements, merong statement of management responsibility na para sa SEC, and then merong statement of financial responsibility para sa income tax return. So, this is required by the BIR. Take note that RMC 40-2022 allows for the electronic signature on all documents and returns to be filed, including the annual income tax return. Kailangan din magpasa sa BIR ng kanilang AITR, duly filed AITR with attachments kung sila ay merong BIR Form 1709. So, sino ba ang nagpa-file ng BIR Form 1709 or the information return on transactions with related parties? So, this applies to large taxpayers, to taxpayers enjoying tax incentives such as those who are BOI registered and Ecozone enterprises, or those enjoying income tax holiday or preferential income tax rates. Okay, so kung nandito ka, kahit hindi ka large taxpayer, kailangan mo magpasa ng Form 1709. Also, ito mas malaki ang chance na meron sa inyo dito if you as a taxpayer, yung business ninyo, are reporting net operating losses for the current taxable year and for the immediately preceding 2 consecutive taxable years. So we are filing now for 2024. Kung net loss ka ng 2024, net loss ka ng 2023, at net loss ka ng 2022, tatlong sunod-sunod na taon na yon, you are required to attach to your annual income tax return for submission to the BIR form number 1709. And lastly, a related party who has transactions with the preceding three. So, sino ba ang related party? This is defined by Section 3 of Revenue Regulation 19-2020. So, kung ikaw ay related party ng LT, taxpayer enjoying tax incentives, or taxpayer reporting 3 consecutive basically net losses, if you are a related party having transaction with any of these three, you are also required to submit BIR Form 1709 as an attachment to your annual income tax return. So kung ikaw naman ay nakiklaim ng tax credits, kailangan mo ring ipasa sa BIR along with your AITR as attachments yung mga kiniklaim mong tax credits, including BIR Form 2307 or the certificate or the certificate of creditable tax withheld at source. Kung ikaw ay merong BIR Form 2306 or the certificate of final tax withheld at source. Kung ikaw ay merong BIR Form 2316, so merong kang income certificate of compensation payment and tax withheld. Na-discuss ito kanina ni Sir Prime, and to be honest, nakikita ko to sa mga Q&A kanina, sinusunod ko yung mga questions na lumalabas sa Zoom. So, baka mamaya ma-discuss natin ito in detail further. So, kung ikaw ay merong BIR Form 2316, kailangan mo rin itong i-attach sa iyong financial statements. Kung ikaw ay engaged in real property business, so therefore you have BIR Form 1606 or the withholding tax remittance return on sale of real property. Kung ikaw ay nakiklaim ng foreign tax credits and any other tax credits claim. So basta meron kang kiniklaim na tax credit, kailangan mong ipasa yun sa BIR. Other attachments din na kailangan ipasa sa BIR, kung meron nito, kailangan mo ito ipasa sa BIR along with your duly filed AITR. So this includes BIR Form 2304. So these are for certificates of income payments not subjected to withholding tax. If you are not familiar with BIR Form 2304, ito yung ini-issue sa inyo kung kayo ay exempt from income tax. Kasi as provided for in RR 11-2018, may specific line doon na sinabi that if a taxpayer, I'm paraphrasing obviously, but if a taxpayer is exempt from income tax, you are likewise exempt from withholding taxes. Kasi saan mo gagamitin yung withholding tax? Exempt ka nga sa income tax. Okay, so ano example nito? An example of this would be a BAMBI taxpayer, a BMBE, a Barangay Micro Business Enterprise taxpayer. If you are a BAMBI taxpayer, you are exempt from income tax. Okay? May nagdududol eh. Anyway, you're exempt from income tax, and therefore, yung mga payments sa'yo, okay, ng iyong mga clients, hindi ka nila pwedeng kaltasan. You will furnish them a copy of your BAMBI certificate along with your COR, indicating there that you are indeed registered with the BIR as a BAMBI taxpayer, therefore exempt ka from income tax and consequently exempted ka rin from withholding tax. So yung binabayaran sa'yo ng iyong client, hindi kanya kakaltasan, wala siya ngayong i-issue na 2307 sa'yo. Pero anong protection naman ngayon ni withholding agent nung client mo na baka matanong siya, bakit hindi ka nag-withhold? Kunwari, professional yung ine-engage mo. Ba't hindi ka nag-withhold? Okay, di may liability si client mo nun. So, ang protection niya, instead of issuing you BIR Form 2307 rather, i-issuehan ka niya ng 2304. So, yan yung 2304. Kailangan ding ipasa kung ikaw ay nagkiklaim ng tax debit memo, If you are claiming prior periods excess credits, so yung last year's ITR mo, negative yon, may overpayment ka. So yung overpayment mo last year, i-credit mo this year, i-attach mo yun dito. Kung ikaw ay nag-file na originally ng iyong ITR, tas mag-a-amend ka, kailangan mong ipasa yung amended return para madaling i-trace na you have indeed amended your income tax return. Kailangan mo ring ipasa yung proof of e-submission of the SOUT or the summary alpha list of withholding agents of income payment subjected to withholding tax at source. So, ano ito? Kung ikaw ay kinakaltasan ng iyong mga kliyente, ipapasok mo to sa alpha list. Ilalagay mo to sa alpha list data entry module, i-encode mo sa SOUT, i-sub mo sa BIR. Pagka-isub mo, ang galing yun sa mga 2307 mo, pagka-isub mo, i-attach mo yung matatanggap mong proof of e-submission sa BIR. Okay? And of course, other attachments may be required by relevant issuances as attachment to the ITR. But right now, ito yung more or less an exhaustive list. But just the same, if you feel that you have other schedules that you may feel is relevant to be attached to your income tax return, ipapasa mo yon sa BIR. Now, meron nagtanong kanina ako sa chat kanina so buti lang na isama ko dito. Meron nagtanong kanina, paano daw magpasa ng 2316 sa BIR? So may sumagot na i-sub mo yon. So medyo half-baked yung sagot. Okay? Tapos ang tanong, kailangan daw ba ipasa yung hard copy ng 2316? Okay? And then ano yung proof? So ito yung sagot. RR 16-2021, as clarified by Revenue Memorandum Circular 117-2021, provides that in lieu of the submission of hard copies of 2307 as an attachment to SOUT for claiming tax credits, as well as Form 2316, 2304, and 2306, only electronic submission via DVD-R, USB, or online via the EAFS will be allowed. So wala na pong manual submission ng hard copies ng 2307 as an attachment to your ITR. And base sa discussion ni Sir Prime na feel ko doon nag-originate yung tanong, yung 2316 ng inyong mga employees, hindi na po ipapasa yung hard copy nun sa BIR. Ang ipapasa nyo sa BIR is yung scanned copy ng 2316 ng inyong mga employees qualified for substituted filing. Hindi lahat ng 2316 ha, only those who are qualified for substituted filing will be submitted to the BIR either in DVD-R, USB, or online via the EAFS. Ano ang attachment ito? May nagtanong doon, ano daw ang kasama? May sumagot na may RDO daw na nagre-require ng proof printout ng alpha list. No. We have an RMC released in 2024 which specifically mentions that the only requirement in submitting your 2316 are the following: the Annex C or the sworn statement, notarized obviously kasi nga sworn niya, Annex F of RR 11/2018, which is basically the schedule of employees who are qualified for substituted filing, and the DVD-R USB containing the scanned copies of the 2316. You, of course, have to follow, if you're submitting via DVD-R or USB, you, of course, have to follow the naming convention as required by relevant issuances. So, nandun sa RR 16/2021 kung ano ba yung inamend niya, ano yung mga regulations na clarify niya, and dun nyo pwedeng i-refer ano yung naming convention na gagamitin kapag magpapasa kayo through DVD-R or USB. Consequently, you can also make use of the EAFS to submit your 2316. So what you're going to do, you are going to still execute the Annex C, have it notarized, prepare the Annex F, but then you're going to scan these two along with the scanned copies of the 2316, but this time following the naming convention of the EAFS okay, so which we will discuss later kung paano ma-generate yung naming convention, okay, and submit it via the EAFS. So dahil dun sa discussion natin ng provision ng RR 16/2021 and RMC 117/2021, submission of hard copies of Form 2307, 2316, 2304, and 2306 as attachments to the AITR for purposes of claiming tax credit will not be allowed. Hindi na siya pwede magpasa ng hard copy. Ganun din po yung pagpasa natin. Ito, ngayon may parating na deadline, February 28, para sa ating mga employers. Kailangan yung ipasa yung Annex F. Yun yung mga qualified for substituted filing. Pag pinasa ninyo yung Annex F and Annex C, yun pwedeng hard copy pa. Pero yung mga 2316 na mga employees for qualified for substituted filing, it must be stored in DVD-R or USB. Or, like I said, you may make use of the EAFS facility. Hindi na magtatanggap si BIR ng printout ng 2316, 2307, 2304, and 2306. I would also want to emphasize that we will not require the submission of the printout of the South, the printout of the Alpha list lalo na, because we have an RMC which clearly stipulates that the only requirements to be submitted when it comes to 2316 are the Annex F, Annex C, and the DVD-R USB of the 2316. I hope that clears that up. So, etong provision ng RR 16/2021, it does not only apply to the annual ITR. Like I said, pati nga yung sa submission ng 2316, applicable to. But this also applies to all tax returns wherein you may claim tax credits. For example, for quarterly ITRs, so 1702Q or 1701Q for the first 3 quarters of the year, kung kayo ay nagki-claim ng tax credit for your quarterly VAT returns, for your quarterly percentage tax returns using Form 2551Q, or your Form 2553 or the PT returns under special laws, hindi nyo na rin pwedeng isubmit yung hard copy ng inyong tax credit. So, ang submission nito must instead be electronically submitted via DVD-R or USB or online via the EAFS. I hope that clears that up. So, kailan ba ang deadline ng pagpasa ng attachment sa inyong income tax return? So, the deadline for submission of duly filed AITR with attachments for taxpayers who electronically filed either via EFPS or EBR forms, regardless if with or without tax due, is 15 days after the deadline for filing the ITR or date of actual filing, whichever comes later. Okay, so pinag-uusapan natin let's not be confused. We have already filed our ITR as discussed by Ma'am Amy earlier. Ang deadline nito is April 15. Yung tax return na ipasa na natin, na i-file na natin. And as required by the EOPT, we have filed this already electronically using EFPS or EBR forms. As per EOPT, kung merong tax due, nakapagbayad na tayo either electronically or manually over the counter sa ating mga AABs, RCOs. But after the April 15, we have an additional 15 days to submit the attachments to our ITR. So, after 15 days from April 15, yun ang deadline natin sa pagpasa ng ating financial statements and other attachments. So, para mas malinaw, i-illustrate nga natin ito. So, example number 1, the deadline for filing of the ITR is April 15. The date of actual filing is April 4. So, maaga natapos si accountant pag-prepare ng ITR, April 4 pa lang na i-file niya na yung return. So, kailan ang deadline ng pagpasa ng FS and other attachments? It's April 30. That's 15 days from April 15. So, isa pang example. Deadline for filing is April 15. Actual filing niya is April 7. Kailan ang deadline ng pagpasa ng attachments? It's May 2. Okay? Kasi that is the 15th day from April 17. However, notwithstanding, of course, the fact that in example number 2, the ITR was filed late kasi the actual filing niya is April 17 and is already subject to penalties for late filing of the ITR. However, as far as the attachments are concerned, if they were submitted within the period prescribed, so from April 17 to May 2 siya nagpasa, okay? No penalties on late submission will be imposed. Late siya for ITR purposes, pero meron siya hanggang May 2 para magpasa ng kanyang attachment sa kanyang ITR without incurring any penalties. If the taxpayer failed to likewise submit the attachments to his ITR, so after the deadline pa lang siya nagpasa, the penalty to be imposed is 1,000 pursuant to RMO 7-2015 on failure to submit required reports on time. Okay, 1,000 yung penalty.